A brief timeline for the life of Marsilio Ficino. 1433. Age 0. Marsilio Ficino is born on October 19th in Figline Valdarno to Alexandra and Dietifeci Ficino, a physician. Little is known about the young Marsilio's adolescence. It is likely he received a traditional education in Latin letters and aimed to receive his training as a physician in keeping with his father's profession. He must have also received ample training in music, specifically the Orphic lyre, and in astronomy and astrology, particularly of the medical variety. 1439. Age 6. The Council of Florence-Ferrara brings a great number of Greek scholars to Italy, in part in an attempt to reconcile the great schism which had long divided the Greek and Latin churches. All this was in an attempt to resist Ottoman encroachment. Present among the council's many members is the philosopher Gemistos Platon, a learned man who fancied himself a second Plato and entranced the elites of Florence with his ideas about the subtle distinctions between Plato and Aristotle. 1453. Age 20. Constantinople falls to the Ottoman Emperor Mehmed II, effectively ending any semblance of Christian imperial power in the Greek East. Many intellectuals flee from Greece to settle in the city-states of Italy, among whom were some of Ficino's Greek language teachers. 1457. We begin to see a surge of references to astrology in Ficino's letters. 1458. Age 25. Ficino writes a letter demonstrating his interest in 4 sects of philosophy: the Platonists, the Epicureans, the Aristotelians, and the Stoics. Given the amount of writing he devotes to Epicureanism above all the other schools, some scholars posit this as Ficino's short-lived Lucretian period, doubtless inspired by his encounters with De Rerum Natura. In keeping with the tradition set down by Plato, he burns all his Juvenilia. 1460. Age 28. Ficino's popularity in Florentine intellectual circles begins to grow. 1462. Age 29. Cosimo gives Ficino a manuscript, the complete works of Plato in Greek, a manuscript that had previously belonged to the Byzantine crypto-pagan philosopher Gemistos Platon. 1463. Age 30. Cosimo de' Medici gives Ficino a villa at Careggi. This marks the beginning of the so-called Platonic Academy in Florence, which was more of an informal salon than a formal school. Here, Ficino begins his long project of translating the complete works of Plato. That same year, a mysterious manuscript arrives from the East containing a complete collection of works attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, and Ficino puts aside his work on Plato to translate it for the benefit of his ailing patron Cosimo's soul. 1464. Age 31. Cosimo de' Medici dies on August 1st, leaving the rule of Florence to his son, Piero di Cosimo de' Medici. By this time, Ficino had translated 10 of Plato's dialogues. 1469. Age 36. Based on his encounters with Plato's philosophy, Ficino begins his Theologia Platonica de Immortalitate Animorum in an attempt to produce a work that might dislodge the prominence of Proclus's Elements of Theology, a work he admired but which was insufficiently Christian for his own age. 1469. Age 36. Piero di Cosimo de' Medici dies, leaving Lorenzo de' Medici, a close friend of Ficino's, to take up the rule of Florence. 1471. Ficino publishes his Corpus Hermeticum translation under the title De Potestate et Sapientia Dei, or simply the Pomander. But it is a version horribly mangled by his printers. This would mark the beginning of a rather funny trend in Ficino's life, who often complained, "Here there are no printers, only misprinters." It did not take long for other translators, like the self-proclaimed Hermeticist Lodovico Lazzarelli, to make their own translations. 1473. Age 40. Ficino was ordained a Catholic priest, later to become a canon of Santa Maria del Fiore Cathedral in Florence. In order to prove his good faith as both a translator of pagan literature and an Orthodox Christian priest, he begins to write his anti-Jewish and anti-Islamic polemic De Christiana Religione on the Christian religion, which itself is heavily derived from the writings of Scripture, the Church Fathers, and the Spanish conversos Paul of Burgos and Jerome of Santa Fe. 1474. Age 41. Ficino composes a number of sermons or orations along with a group of his closest humanist friends, largely exhorting Italian rulers to band together and fight against the Turk for the very sake of Christendom. 1474. Age 41. Ficino finishes the Theologia Platonica, but holds off on publishing it until 1482. The late 1470s. Ficino becomes increasingly concerned with the idea of reunifying the sacred and the secular spheres under a single leader, hoping to prepare the way for a new golden age that would sweep away the current world order, the Age of Iron. 1476. Ficino and Lorenzo's friendship gradually fades, not to be rekindled until sometime around 1487. 1478. The Pazzi conspiracy attacks Lorenzo and his brother Giuliano while at Mass. Lorenzo is wounded and Giuliano is killed. The assassination attempt was a response to a complex feud between Lorenzo, the Pazzi family, and Pope Sixtus IV, as the Pope was attempting to garner more influence in territories under Florentine control that were bordering papal states. From this period onward, Ficino was in serious need of a reliable patron to fund his scholarly lifestyle. 1480. Age 47. Ficino begins writing De Vita Liberi Tres, of which the third book began as a commentary on Plotinus's Aeneads 4:3-11, but quickly grew in scope beyond Ficino's original intentions. 1482. Age 49. Ficino publishes his 18-book Theologia Platonica de Immortalitate Animorum, the Platonic theology on the immortality of the soul. This year sees the first published letter to Giovanni Pico della Mirandola, who at the time was very much under the influence of the Averroist and Aristotelian currents that were popular around the University of Padua. This was still 4 years prior to Pico writing his infamous 900 Conclusions, which got him excommunicated in 1487. 1484. Age 51. Ficino publishes his entire Platonic corpus under the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, which he took to signify the long-awaited reunion of wisdom and divine law on a cosmic scale. Pico della Mirandola arrives in Florence, having recently studied in Pavia and Bologna. 1486. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa is born. The same year Pico took his theses to Rome to be debated, though this debate was shut down before it could ever occur. 1489. Age 56. Ficino publishes his De Vita Libri Tres on December 3rd in honor of his aging patron Lorenzo. This work, particularly the third book, is the most quote-unquote magical of Ficino's works, drawing cautiously as it did from the theurgy of Iamblichus and the astral magic of Picatrix, or the Secret of Secrets. 1490. Age 57. In May, Ficino is absolved of suspicions of heresy by Pope Innocent VIII. 1490 to 1492. Ficino publishes his translation and commentary of Dionysius the Areopagite's Mystical Theology and the Divine Names in an attempt to update the previous translation by Ambrogio Traversari. As mentioned in the De Christiana Religione, Ficino maintained that Dionysius the Areopagite stood historically or chronologically upstream from figures like Proclus, and was either ignorant or unwilling to accept the reattribution of this author to a monk in the 5th century by men like Lorenzo Valla, though this was not uncommon. 1492. Age 59. Lorenzo de' Medici dies. This same year, Ferdinand and Isabella expel all the Jews from Spain, causing a massive exodus into nearby regions. This year, Christopher Columbus, a Genoese sailor under Spanish royal patronage, becomes the first European to ever set foot in the Bahamas. This is also the year the infamous Borgia Pope Alexander VI ascended the papal see. It is this pope who would absolve Pico della Mirandola of his excommunication. 1493. Age 60. Ficino writes a letter to his student Francesco Catani da Diacetto in July 1493, arguing that whoever rightly understands that natural matters lead us to divine matters will realize that peripatetic, that is Aristotelian, learning represents the way toward Platonic wisdom, so that it has come about that no one is ever admitted into the inner reaches of the Platonic mysteries without first having been initiated into the peripatetic branches of learning. 1494. Age 61. Charles VIII, King of France, enters Florence by force. Piero de' Medici flees. Pico della Mirandola is murdered. Savonarola takes power and institutes his very own theocratic rule, turning the monastery of San Marco inside out. 1494 would mark the beginning of Ficino's struggles against Savonarola, a man whom he initially supported, but stopped as incommensurabilities between the two men and their respective patrons began to grow. This same year, Reuchlin's primitive Kabbalistic thoughts are published in his De Verbo Mirifico, and these were not untouched by Ficino's influence. 1496. Age 63. Ficino publishes his commentaries on Plato, including the Parmenides, Sophist, Philebus, Timaeus, Phaedrus, and the Republic. 1497. Ficino publishes a volume of other Platonic authors such as Iamblichus, Proclus, Synesius, and Pseudo-Tselos. 1499. Age 66. Marsilio Ficino dies in Careggi, but left a literary legacy which would endure well until the 17th century, influencing the likes of William Shakespeare, John Colet, Jacques Lefebvre d'Etaples, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, and so on. This legacy, however, would gradually fade out on account of the incompatibilities between Ficino's thought and the emerging scientific rationalism of the age, which was attempting to get beyond the strictures of Platonic and Aristotelian thinking. Nevertheless, In the teaching of philosophy, his translations of Plato and the Platonists ultimately remained the go-to texts for European readers who could not read Greek until the 18th century. This presentation has been brought to you by myself, Dan Attrell, and I hope it has been useful for you in framing some of the events in Ficino's life relative to other wider currents in Renaissance history.